Okay.
And they'll disappear randomly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Red light on?
Red light is on.
Okay. Buenas Cameron Diaz. Welcome to Index Project Artspace in St. Peters. Today I'm with artist Fiona Davies. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good, I'm good. We're here standing on an installation you've made with BloodSilk. And the videos are connected.
Yes.
Can you explain simply why you've used silk and what the video, how the video is connected to the floor piece? And can you, Matt, come around to capture the floor silk?
Sure. Okay. It came from a body of work that I was looking particularly at death. I've been working on death or around ideas about death for quite a long time now, and in particular medicalised death. It came from a specific incident in my life where my father was in intensive care for about 4.5 months, and that has a whole ritual of existence, the taking of the blood, the daily taking of the blood, the daily chest x-ray, and they become domestic experiences in your life. They're just perfectly normal, you don't blink, whatever. After he died, I made a series of installations about that work, about those experiences and the narratives that we used as a family to contextualise that experience.
Okay, now we've been talking with some friends of ours, covering a lot of subjects, and you mentioned that. You were talking about things, places in Sydney that your father valued, or he valued himself in places.
Yes.
You want to speak about
that? Yeah. So one of the installations I put, one of the location sites that I put the work into was the foyer of the School of Physics at Sydney University, and when I was developing that work, I became aware of a physicist working there who was doing this project on using certain microchips, developing certain microchips to replace the need to externally remove your blood and take it somewhere else to test it and get results and determine what the characteristics are.
And they'd be using a scanner?
Yes, a scanner. So the silk tip would be inserted into your bloodstream, so you get one insertion rather than the daily taking.
And it stays in the one spot? Yeah. And the blood goes through?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Which is happening here. Can you explain, before we go to the videos, so I do want to talk about the videos.
Yeah.
What you've done here is you've got some blood. Explain the stains. How does it?
Right. The stains are, what I'm looking at here is that sort of idea of traces. So that the whole project that I'm working on is called Blood on Silk. So it's a collaboration between a physicist, a writer and myself, and we're basically just talking, and when you put blood and silk together, they have got thousands of lovely little avenues to toggle down. You've got the silk roots, you've got the overlay of the new trading routes for bioproducts, bits of bodies including blood, legal and illegal, and that's really what I'm looking at here. I've just done a residency in Istanbul, and it's a really pivotal place for that intersection of silk routes.
The Silk Road.
Yep, the silk routes, and you can buy anything in Istanbul. The second day after I was there was a big news story about the mafia being busted for selling organs that they may not have required, totally on a consensual basis.
You're aware of the film The Third Man?
Yes.
And how they carry lives selling penicillin, which wasn't quite the right stuff yet.
Yes, absolutely.
Can we talk about videos now?
So the idea
as they come, can you talk as the videos appear? Like here now,
This is so it's really about trade and globalisation, and that's what I became really interested in Istanbul, is that whole idea about, so if you have, Istanbul's also become a site of medical tourism, and if you have legal and illegal medical stuff going on, you have to have legal and illegal blood to go with it. Yep. And it's really not talked about, it's not an open discussion about the fact that it's a bit of the body that's taken out, and once it's out of the body, it's transportable, it can go.
Okay, so we're looking at dolls in this kind of
that's a
museum
doll's house in an industrial museum in Oberhausen, which I don't think I'm pronouncing properly.
Alright, don't look at me.
Oberhausen, which is in the Ruhr, which is a site in Germany that's reconstructing itself from a place that used to make widgets into something else. And you've got this idea of heritage, the idea of the way the relationships between people are organised.
Okay, now
This
image, which I find beautiful, before you even start talking.
Yep.
It's
basically the sunlight through a security screen.
Whereabouts?
In Istanbul.
Okay.
So it's a basic thing about protecting yourself from theft, and
it's not coming on.
it does come on. You just have to wait.
Okay, no. This will be a 10-minute interview. I can tell. I can tell. Ah, here it is.
Yeah, so you just have
That's beautiful.
little fragments.
That's just shadows.
Yep, that's shadows.
Wow.
And so that's the street going down into the Harvey section.
So you walk past that particular spot and just...
No, I'm inside.
But you noticed that walking in the shadows, you thought, okay, I'll take a photograph of that.
Yeah.
And how does that relate to the whole theme of the whole film?
It's that whole thing about security and trade, and that to actually trade you have to open yourself up to other people, because you've got to expose yourself, make yourself vulnerable, and you can't just sit behind your security screen and pass bits out through gaps.
Well, we could talk to this lady for a long time about many subjects, I think. Well, thank you, Fiona.
Thank you very much.
Okay, do you have an upcoming show, or what's the next? Where are you going to go next?
Well, I've actually pulled back from a lot of things because I haven't been doing enough making. So I'm going back to Istanbul next year.
I bet you do.
And I've got a show that I'm in as an artist curator on death again. So it's the third one that I've done on death at Parramatta. So yeah, that'll be very interesting. Getting a fantastic video out from Pedro, which is an abstraction using the ashes of 6 people. It's very powerful, very
you say getting out? Who's doing it, or you're doing it?
No, it's in the Canadian National Collection, and so we're just getting the video.
Oh, okay, that's part of the show that you're curating. Okay.
So I mean, that's what's really good about curating, is you get to see your work relative to other work. Just have a good time.
In one room.
And I will show now.
Okay, thank you, Fiona. Thank you. Okay, so that was a great interview. So stay tuned, pedroTV, and adios.